Welcome, welcome, welcome. You are listening to Bras, Panties, and Sports. Most of the crew is in the cold weather part of the country. This is April, and they freezing their little tipsies off up there. But fortunately, we got the first lady of sports talk, the one and only Cheryl Smith, and she trying to bring some warmth to them. She wishing them heat, sun. She trying to share some sunshine, but it's looking rough. We got Goddess Kelli, the Diva sports debate, and she up there, that's right. She got her hand warmers, her mittens, and her scarf, because she in chilly Philadelphia. And then we got CJ hanging out in Rock, otherwise known as Cold Chicago. Check out the music this week on Shout Out. We are featuring performances from the Chris Watson Band, where they find their shining star, get the cold feel of the mute button. And my little phrase friend has invaded the studio, and let me tell you, I got a Bombay, and he is he's a little critter cat. Now, the production assistants did not get our funny ladies into us this week. So, first lady, we're going to roll right into What You Say.
Each week, we try to figure out what is going on in the sports world. Not the plays of the week, more like the players of the week. Are they trying to tell us something? So we ask, what you saying? Fly, little birdie, fly. Time keeps on slipping into the future. Time keeps on slipping into the future. So I want to fly like an eagle to the sea. Fly like an eagle, let the spirit carry me. I want to fly right into the future. The little birdies known as the NFL owners wish Texan owner Bob McNair had let his past comments referring to inmates fly far, far away. Is this the case of someone with a silver foot putting it in his mouth? Given he is an NFL owner, he can afford a gold foot or talk to James Brown and get a good foot. The comment had pretty much disappeared until he said, I should not have apologized. I was directing those comments to the NFL executives, not the players. When you say the NFL executive, isn't another way of saying the commissioner? Dr. Mary Edward Walker, Jane Jeffrey, Beatrice M. McDonald, and the Steve Miller Band are asking, what you saying? I just want to know one thing. How come Laura Ingraham is not telling Bob McNair to shut up and own a team? She said that to LeBron, and she even got on the students from the unfortunate incident from the high school where the 17 people were killed. But Laura Ingraham, she didn't say anything to Bob McNair. If anyone needs to shut up, it is definitely Bob McNair, because he continues to put his foot in his mouth twice over the same situation. To me, more importantly, to renege on your apology is worse than your initial comments. And why should we believe him that he was talking about the league office? Because the more information that was coming out and disclosed about the situation, he made those statements after Dan Snyder and Jerry Jones were talking about the players protesting the anthem. So any words out of Bob McNair's mouth is the subject to fact-checking. And since Bob McNair likes using idioms, even though he did get it wrong by using the prison instead of the asylum, he needs to adhere to this idiom: let sleeping dogs lie. Guys, Kelly, what are you thinking about this situation?
Well, you don't renege on an apology. Like you said, it's a bad look. It's not classy. It's not what you do. Once you say you're sorry, you turn your back, you move on. If you don't think you were wrong, it might leave a bad taste in your mouth, a little sting in your soul, but you do it because it's expected of you. You apologize, you move on. That's how life is supposed to work. And then by bringing this back up, he's just making himself look bad all over again. It doesn't matter who the comments were directed to. If the comment was directed towards the NFL executives and towards Roger Goodell, he's calling them the prison. But who are the inmates? The inmates aren't the owners. The inmates are still the players. So it doesn't matter who it was directed to, he's still saying something that could be taken in completely, a racial direction, because it was said after the protest of the anthem, and we all know what a heated topic that is. It was a dumb comment. It was dumb to bring it up again, and it doesn't matter who it was directed to. He still said it wrong, and it makes me think that, he's got a little old school Southern thinking down there in Texas, and he just needs to shut up already. It's the 21st century. Let's be progressive. Let's be equal. Let's stop with all of this madness. So, Bob McNair, get out. Just shut up and don't even own the team. Shut up and retire. Let somebody else buy your team.
Shut up and retire. All right, CJ. I know in Chi-Town they would not accept Bob McNair because I know they have people there that can take care of him. But anyway, we don't, Bob, Panties, and sports, we don't promote violence. But anyway, how would you deal with this situation, CJ?
This Bob McNair is just an example of silence is not always golden, because even if he doesn't say it out loud, this is still his action. And no matter what he says out of his mouth, his actions is what's going to dictate everything. And I don't really see him changing his thought pattern anytime soon. I had to kind of grimace when I saw that the first blackout, I said the first blackout that they first started was in 2013. This is 2018. And still it's the same thing that they do not wish to recognize. And as long as that keeps happening, it's going to keep being shoved underneath the rug. And it's going to be something that they didn't mean to say. And it's going to still be that same, well, we still have to get over it because it's American football. So, no, it leaves a very bad taste in my mouth of his apology in the first place.
All right, CJ. Spitface, I know. Are you an apologist? You always apologize, right? You like apologizing.
Sometimes I stumble, bumble, and and it is on point to apologize. Now, the thing that I'm here in Houston, I kind of like the Texans, and being, like I'm here, I kind of like the Texans, and, and since I can't watch my Bears every Sunday lose, I can at least watch an up-and-coming team. And, it's kind of like this. Bob McNair, he has done a lot for the Houston community. He really has. So I have to give him props for that. And the one thing I got from the first time that he made his utterance was that it upset a lot of the players on the team. And he had to have a conversation with them. And after that, there was no noise. And what that had me look at was that whatever he was saying, that if the players, let it go, then it probably was, he misspoke or did, whatever point he was trying to make, he didn't make it. But see, that was the time to clarify. See, my thing is, well, why didn't you just say that? Hey, look, wait, y'all thinking I'm talking about the play? I apologize. I was not clear. I'm referring to the NFL executives. But see, we know no matter what owner you are, you do not, and you do not go against the man. And I'm not talking about Vladi. I'm talking about the commissioner. Because the only NFL executives work at the NFL office in New York. And if Bob wanna, like really look at it, go talk to your boy Jerry Jones. You notice Jerry had to shut his mouth. Go talk to your boy, with a whole bunch of Super Bowl rings up in New England. He didn't say that when it comes to the commissioner, you better off saying well, I was talking about the players, because messing with the commissioner is not a good thing. It do not turn out well. And the other thing is, I'm starting to wonder how smart these billionaires really is. I mean, really, you start wondering. We got Donald Trump, he don't know nothing. And you go, well, you got all these billions and you don't know nothing. And then you got Bob, and it's like, you start wondering, are y'all just good at being lucky to have enough money to get in? And really smarter folks are doing stuff. So I'm starting to wonder, I think that they are degrading the image of the successful billionaire. I really do. And
Well,
don't go against that don't go against the commission. Watch yourself, Bob.
Well, you know what, Smith says you are right. There hasn't been a great year for NFL owners because how can we forget the situation with Jerry Richardson and some of his problems that he had with the Panthers that really caused him to actually sell the team now. And so Bob McNair, he also is having his issues, and hopefully he'll be quiet for the rest of the season. That's the upcoming season. Hopefully he'll learn. Anyway, over to you.
I just want to say the only owner that I done seen actually speak intelligently is the owner of the Jacksonville Jaguars. And I'm starting to wonder, is that because he ain't pure?
Okay, over to you, Goddess Kelli.
Don't call it a comeback. I've been here for years, rocking my peers and putting suckers in fear, making the tears rain down like a monsoon. Listen to the bass go boom. Explosion, overpowering over the competition. I'm towering, wrecking shop when I drop these lyrics that'll make you call the cops. Don't you dare stare, you better move. Don't ever compare me to the rest, but I'll all get sliced and diced. Competition's paying the price. I'm gonna knock you out. Mama said knock you out. We are not talking about Helen Grace McClelland, Eva Jean Parmelli, or Isabel Strumbaugh. We are talking about Conor McGregor kicking a bus's ass, terrorizing the occupants, injuring people, and going the fuck off. Is this a case of taking the promoting a bit too fucking far? With Money Mayweather saying he can get to be a top competitor in the octagon, could this be a big setup for the rematch on McGregor's turf? UFC fans give McGregor a lot of credit for being able to stay in the ring with the world champ and look somewhat respectable. Do Mayweather and McGregor smell money? Emma S. Sloan, Mary Roberts Wilson, and Edna S. Pierce are asking, what you saying? Now, I don't know if this was a publicity stunt or what, but if it was a publicity stunt gone completely wrong. If we're looking at what Dana White is saying and the fact that they changed the latest UFC card all around and all these matches are getting dropped and da-da-da-da-da, this is extremely damaging to the UFC when one of their biggest stars in Conor McGregor ends up, getting arrested, had to turn himself in, got warrants out just because he's going and, it's weird. It doesn't make any sense. I mean, this is almost a case of like steroid rage or something. I don't know. I know that McGregor has to be clean in order to fight in the UFC, but I don't know what kind of lasting damage those sort of performance-enhancing substances can have. If he took them in the past, if he can still, suffer from that kind of thing, I don't know. Maybe he's gotten hit in the head one too many times. Maybe this is a case of CTE going to the UFC instead of the NFL, but it's weird. And when it comes to the fight with Money Mayweather, first of all, I think that's a dumb move right there. I think that Floyd needs to keep his old ass retired at this point. He is a boxing legend, a defensive genius. But to think that he can stand in the octagon when he's getting beat, thrown at his head, that sort of thing? I mean, Floyd, come on. You know your limits, man. You are a smart fighter. This is dumb. And if this is them trying to get money, then it's obviously not working out because people are hating Conor McGregor at this point. People were rooting for Conor against Money Mayweather in the boxing ring because he was an underdog, because he was kind of the current darling of the UFC. And now he's completely alienated his fans. Between this and a lot of his other publicity stunts is dumb. And the man is a multi-millionaire at this point. The money that he made off of the Money Mayweather fight, he doesn't necessarily need to work, so maybe he's just venting his rage. I don't know, but I don't like it. I don't think it's a publicity stunt. I think it's extremely damaging to the UFC. TJ, what did you think about this weird one?
This was another one that was, I couldn't believe it. I said, maybe it was me, but I thought that he was fighting this brown-skinned guy, and I thought that the UFC people that he was throwing the bus at were brown-skinned people too, and I thought that he had gotten a little upset about losing, and he was taking out his aggression, and then he thought he was a little privileged and said, okay, yeah, I can go to jail, $500,000. What's that? I made $30 million. You lock me up. I'll give you a little smug grin on my face as you walk me out the door. I'll see you next month. But their bus is destroyed. The league has to go through all these different changes for this gentleman and his mouth. I can just imagine what's going to happen when he gets a rematch with Merriweather, the next time. Oh, my goodness. If he's doing these antics now, as they say, shaking my little head at that one. No, just shaking my head.
Space, what did you make of this?
You know, I've been looking at the situation, and, I'm kind of, part of me goes, well, let me put it like this. Listen to this for one second. This is what I kind of think is going on. Money, money, money. And Money Mayweather is all about the money. And Money Mayweather knows that his legacy will not be diminished if he goes and fights in the octagon for the championship and loses. Because everybody go, that was not his sport. But the idea that he can come in and take a title, oh, that's going to be big money. That's going to be big, big money. And McGregor is making sure that he out bad boy the bad boy. You know, Mayweather ain't really all that a bad boy. But when he was younger, he was kind of a bad boy. But after that, he started learning that, you know what, I can make money. I need to cut a lot of this crap out. But McGregor is making himself into the right kind of villain. And you know you need a good villain if you ain't all that like a good boy yourself, So we know that this ain't no Mayweather the angel against the devil, known as McGregor. So we got to have it as the devil Mayweather versus Satan. But other than that, then I think McGregor might need to, talk to Dr. Phil, because he might have a few issues going on. But I smell money. Mayweather is going to be in that octagon. He is going to be fighting somebody for a title. And more than likely, it's going to be McGregor. That's all I'm saying.
All right, and First Lady, what about you? You smelling money this morning, or you got a new take on this?
Well, yeah, I do smell money in a way, but, everybody thought it was, they thought it might have been a stunt, but like you said, Goddess Kelly, when you start hurting people and they had to really scratch people from a fight card, then you know this was not staged. I think McGregor just really went off. He was upset with the headliner for UFC 223, Khabib, and I can't pronounce his last name. I'm not even going to try to pronounce his last name. And he was upset with him because this man had gotten into an altercation with McGregor's trainer and friend, Artem Lvov. So, this is what set him off. It's like any other thing. People get angry at each other during fights, but what he did was just utterly ridiculous. And will he go to jail? I doubt if he'll go to jail. But the one thing I do think that's going to happen, Dana White stripped McGregor of his title because he wasn't fighting. And now I think Dana White has McGregor where he wants him. And I think now he will be forced to fight. And the reason why I think he'll be forced to fight because Dana White holds all the cards. And the other fighters, I mean, they can pursue these charges against McGregor. You know, I mean, to be honest with you, if they don't pursue the charges, the police will drop them. So Dana White really has McGregor where he wants him now. So, yes, Mayweather will probably get into the octagon with McGregor. I just don't think Mayweather knows what he's doing, to be honest with you, because I don't know why he want to be an MMA fighter. I mean, they used to call him Pretty Boy Floyd, but he won't be so pretty after he gets into an MMA fight, because MMA fights are brutal. It's not about defense like a boxing match, because, you know, Floyd Mayweather was the greatest defensive boxer. But when you're in the MMA fight, there is no defense. It's all about offense. And Mayweather really, somebody needs to talk to some sense into his head because, you know, he still has his senses. But he gets into the MMA fight, I just don't think he'll have his sense anymore. And he sure will be looking pretty and looking young. So it is all about Mayweather and McGregor fighting in the octagon. And I think Dana White has it now where he can definitely demand that out of McGregor because he could be in trouble with those charges. That's all I got to say.
Yep. Money, McGregor, and Mayweather. Oh, my. But on that note, CJ, take us to our first verse.
Well, the first two listeners to email us or send a shout-out with the name of the only woman on the list to receive the highest military honor, the Congressional Medal of Honor, and her race will receive a $25 gift card from our partners from NFL.com and NBA.com.
CJ, did you say each of the ladies received the nation's highest military honors during combat?
That's what it says.
Wait. They didn't get no, like, little freedom medals, freedom stuff like that. They got for combat, so they can whoop ass.
Congressional Medal of Honor.
You know, most of the Congressional Medal of Honor winners receive it posthumously.
The only woman on the list.
I'm just saying, you talk about a bad mamma jamma, because I'm going, like I said, most of them Congressional Medal of Honors, you do not get them alive. You had to, woo, I got to hand it to them. We need to know about these ladies.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all be doing it. I watched that movie about NASA and the little black ladies doing math. Kind of reminded me of my 7th grade teacher, Miss Lucy Patton. I remember them rulers. Wow. Go ahead, get us on out of here, CJ.
Stay tuned. Coming up next, we have a performance from the Chris Watson Band on the first part of Shout Out.
How you doing, Miss Patton? You still teaching?
What the hell? The music flows in and around the globe to get a shout-out from the panel. That is Kelly. I can't wait to hear the music from the Chris Watson Band.
On Shout Out, we feature new independent artists who are looking to find their shining star. If we like what we hear, which is kind of rare in my case, we will give the track a shout-out. If we don't like it, we will hit the mute. And today we are featuring music from the Chris Watson Band. So, DJ, let's hear It Don't Matter.
Be crazy, show your face round here. You got the best of me, child. You made that crystal clear. On the phone, all you're always rude. I had enough of your attitude, and I don't know just how much I can stand. So you can take your little mind control device, put it neatly where the sun don't shine, 'cause it don't matter to me, babe. nothing left but a hole full of doubt. Call me a fool, just like your daddy does. Tell me that I'm reckless, like he wishes he was. Tell your friends what a jerk I've been. Well, let me help you understand that when I'm gone, there ain't no second chance. So you can take your little mind control device, put it neatly where the sun don't shine. 'Cause it don't matter to me, babe, you got nothing left. It don't matter to me, babe, because you done it to yourself. Now, it don't matter to me, babe, you can't find your own way out. 'Cause I got nothing left but a hole full of doubt. Come on now. It don't matter to me, babe, you got nothing left. It don't matter to me, babe, because you done it to yourself. Now, it don't matter to me, babe, you can't find your own way out. 'Cause I got nothing left but a hole full of doubt. Come on now.
All right, that was It Don't Matter. So is the track going to get a shout out or the mute button? Now for me, I'm listening to this song and I can picture myself wearing like a short little skirt and some really high-heeled boots and going out to the bar and like getting really drunk and just kind of like dancing out to it. So like it was cool for me there. If Chris Watson is a singer, I think he needs a little more swagger to be original. It was a little bit generic. It sounded kind of cover bandy to me, but it was fun. I'm not drunk enough to give it a shout out, but I'm gonna give it a yo. And the yo for me is pretty good. So like it was fun. It wasn't quite original enough, and it didn't have quite enough swagger for the shout out. So it's getting a yo. First lady, what did you think?
I'm kind of like on the fence with this one. They seem like a band that you would hear in a local bar, like a karaoke type of band. That's how I kind of view them. So I'm like you. I'm gonna give them a yo.
Oh, CJ, what did you think of the Chris Watson band?
Yeah, I'm agreeing with you guys. I thought about it for like a reunion, or a wedding party, at the wedding reception. That's the type of song that gets everybody up, It really doesn't have a great voice. You won't remember the song, but you'll remember the incident of why you were there dancing. But, when they say, well, who was that playing? You say, oh, yeah, that band. What was their name? Oh, wow. I don't remember. But, yeah, but they had that one song, we were dancing and, everybody was messed up. Yeah, that.
It's definitely a drunk kind of song. What did you think?
Well, I'm gonna give them a shout out. They stayed in their lane, and I thought my man was jamming. The horns, a great tribute out to Fred Wesley and the Horny Horns. I thought they were, and I think as far as his singing, that, when that, look, I can sing, but I can't sing. You stay in your lane. You stay in your lane and just go with the flow, because you ain't trying to, make it the singer and the band. It's the band, And I thought they they had some little party flow going to get you up on the flow, shake your thing, and go back and have another cocktail. So I go shout out. They was moving.
Okay. Well, on part 2 of Shout Out, we are going to have another performance from the Chris Watson band. I'm going to get my drink on in the meantime, and maybe I'll get drunk enough to shout it out this time. But right now, is that the sound of our favorite underwater friend? Is it time for Flip It?
All right, it's time for Flip It, where we defend the point and then flip the script and defend the opposing view. I've actually stayed up late and watched TV Land and watched Flipper. And I look at it, Flipper got his little cute eye in the water, laughing and stuff, and I'm going, and the humans look dumb. So I saw why they said that he was smarter than thee. Kyrie Irving. Y'all remember Kyrie Irving? He used to play on the Cavaliers. And now he ain't going to be able to play at all for the rest of the season. And the Irish tears are flowing into the beer mugs. The Celtics, what they going to do without Kyrie? Not very much. Does this all but assure the Cavaliers will be making another finals appearance? What ye say, wise panel, defend? One less competitive team to play? That's all the Cavs need. Goddess Kelli, defend.
Well, you never want to wish injury on a player, but Kyrie, when you played in Cleveland for the Cavaliers, and you stood up and you said, the world is flat. You know what? Goddess Kelli, she stood behind you. And when you cemented your legacy in Cleveland history by making that three-point shot to break Cleveland's curse and bring us a championship, Goddess Kelli called you a hero. And when you went to the Boston Celtics, at first, Goddess Kelli was all like, you know what, little dude, you deserve it. I wish you well. You go out there, you be a leader, you play point guard, Kyrie, you do your thing. And I was all behind it until you bashed the Cleveland fans. And then you were dead to me. So you know what? This injury, you were already dead to me. So the Cavaliers, now that your little flat-ass believing jerk-face self is out of the game, the Cavs are just going to stroll on in to those NBA Finals. Because they don't need you. They've proven it. LeBron doesn't need anybody. LeBron makes everybody better. He could have made you better, but no. You abandoned the team because you wanted to be a leader. You didn't want to be in the shadows anymore. But guess what? Now you are in the shadows of the injury bench because you're done for the year. And like I said, that is all the Cavaliers need. Hello, NBA Finals. Here we come.
One less competitive team. Okay. CJ, you know about having one less competitive team. Coming out of Chicago with no competitive team. I can only pick on them because I root for the losing ass teams too. Defend. Easy path for the Cavs.
Well, as they say, it's a done deal. They gotta just hold on and just keep playing the way they're doing, and it's going to be them again. And you know who, those other folks. That's all I can say. He can't, that Kyrie Irving, I feel sorry for him. He had a good thing going. But now the beans are over. That's all I can say.
There's always the UFC.
He's got a bum leg and he got screws. He can't do that. No split, man. You don't understand. Those screws are no joke. The titanium in your legs, it's stronger than your bone.
Oh.
Your bone will give before your leg will. I had it in my hand. I can just imagine in my legs.
Mm-mm. That's why he, at 20 million, yeah, all right. First lady, defend one less competitive team. They eat on easy street.
The one team that could have beaten the Cavs was Kyrie Irving, Boston Celtics. But now, without him, which team will provide problems for the Cavs? There isn't any. Unfortunately, there is not one team. The Toronto Raptors are better than last year, but they still are not good enough to beat the Cavs. LeBron can shut down DeMar DeRozan, and Kyle Lowry always disappears during the postseason. The Sixers, without Joel Embiid, doesn't pose a threat, even though they beat them last night. But they had a 30-point lead and almost blew the game. That's the problem. The Sixers are too young and too inexperienced. The Washington Wizards, hey, they have been so woeful, and they are trending the wrong way. And the Bucks and the Heat, hey, they do not have a chance against LeBron. So LeBron has another cakewalk to the finals. I just want to know one thing. All those rumors about LeBron going to Los Angeles is so ridiculous because staying in the East, he continues to be a beast.
Consecutive finals is rather tempting. All right, but this is flipping where we got to flip the script and defend the opposing view. Doesn't matter that Boston is wounded and playing with one wing. LeBron and company are in for a battle. It will be no easy path for them to get to the finals if they get to the finals. Goddess Kelli, defend.
LeBron, honey bunny, I love you and I love what you did for the city of Cleveland, and I am a Cavaliers fan through and through, but this Cleveland Cavaliers team, they're struggling. They're struggling hard. They lost to the Sixers without Joel Embiid last night. And granted, the Sixers came out strong and then almost blew it at the end, only were able to win by 2 points, but still, that's a pretty hefty loss, considering the Sixers have been a losing team up until this year. It's a team that was built on tanking. If you look at the way the Cavs have been playing this season, they've been struggling a lot. If you look at the teams that have a chance to beat them in the finals, yeah, the Sixers, they don't have Joel Embiid right now. Yes, they are young and inexperienced, but they're having fun. And that city in Philadelphia, let me tell you, we are flying high off of the victory of the Philadelphia Eagles and the Villanova team in NCAA, bringing home another championship. We got the Flyers going to the playoffs. So, the energy in Philly is high, and I think that the players kind of feed off of that, whereas the energy in Cleveland is always really low. And the city knows that the team doesn't have the same magic that it had when Kyrie Irving was on it. So a chance for us to go in and beat Golden State is pretty slim after they destroyed us last season in the finals. Then if you look at Toronto, which I think could be the only other team that could give Cleveland trouble, yes, granted, DeMar DeRozan, Kyle Lowry, every time they face LeBron in the playoffs, they choke terribly, but maybe they've learned something. Maybe at this point, their choking is going to be done. So I don't think it's going to be the cakewalk that Cleveland is used to getting into the finals. This isn't the same Cavaliers team. LeBron is getting older. There's some competition in the East right now.
I was wondering when Goddess Kelli said low energy, if she had been listening to old Donald Trump stump speeches. CJ, even with Boston with a wounded wing, it's still going to be a battle for the Cavaliers to make it back to the finals. Defend.
It's going to make a battle. This is his worst season ever. He's been struggling and struggling. Okay, so they haven't played all of the games yet, but, either he's going to have to take a whole lot of vitamins and do a whole lot of fasting to get back to be able to be just a beast in the East, or somebody might slip up and get that 1 or 2 points in by that buzzer, and it's going to be all over for him again. So he needs to be on his guard, or he will be a contender again. and not a champ.
And, well, after you get a couple of rings, you're always a champ. But, First Lady, the thing.
This is the first time in a long time that LeBron James is not a cinch for returning to the NBA Finals. The Cavs and LeBron are not a good defensive team this year. I mean, that's their problem. They do not play defense. The Cavs are great when LeBron is more a facilitator than a scorer. Unfortunately, he has to do both, and this is why he's not defending well, because he has to do so much for the Cavs to win. I mean, you can tell Kelli is a Philadelphia all the way fan because she thinks the Sixers have a better chance of beating LeBron.
No, the Cavs are my team.
I think it's more the Raptors. They can challenge LeBron more than the Sixers. You know, if DeMar DeRozan and Kyle Lowry play like all-stars in the postseason, like they played during the regular season, then they really have a legitimate shot of beating the Cavs. The Raptors have a very capable bench that can score and play defense. The Cavs haven't been challenged for years. But because the way this team is constructed and the rise of the Raptors, LeBron is in for a battle to get back to the finals.
A battle. It's going to be, and LeBron, there's always UFC. Just want to remind you. TJ, please take us to break.
Stay tuned. Up next, the funnies and our favorite underwater friend on Flip It Part 2.
You know, I was sitting there thinking that, you know, if LeBron and Money Mayweather go into the octagon together, and that could be interesting. That's all I'll say. That could be interesting.
Welcome back. You are still listening to Bras, Panties, and Sports. Time to get our laugh on. It's time for the funnies. DJ, over to you.
Well, I think we have something interesting for the panel and our listeners. Deputies, mom's mistake, redefined carpool. That's right. Authorities in Florida said a mom gave a new meaning to the term carpool when she accidentally sent her vehicle idling into a pool with her husband and daughter inside. The Okaloosa County Sheriff's Office said the Crestview woman was in the car with her husband and daughter when she realized she needed to run back into their apartment. Mom thought she put the car in park when she ran into the apartment to grab money, the sheriff officer said. Apparently, it didn't go all the way into park. The car with the man and daughter inside rolled into the apartment complex's pool. The pair were able to get out of the vehicle safely and without injuries. The sheriff's office joked an incident gave new meaning to the term carpool. Can you tell me why this made news?
I'm trying to figure out, you know, because most apartment complexes I done seen, there's like a little distance between the parking spot and the pool. And there's and most of the, you know, I don't know, but usually they got like a little fence around and a little gate.
Yeah.
That, you know, to go in. So I'm wondering, you know, I don't know, but I think that there should be an investigation.
This is in Okaloosa County, though. So
Somebody trying to get some insurance money.
There might not be too many stoplights in Okaloosa County.
And, you know, apparently they don't put no fences around their pools either.
No safety guards either.
Yeah, little gate and stuff, keep the little kiddies from running in and accidentally falling in. So I think that there should be an investigation.
Now they say because they could have some gators in there. They better watch out. Having cars.
They got cars, you know. And I'm still questioning Mommy. Because Mommy, what was she going back into the apartment to grab some money? How much money was she going back to grab? Ain't she got a debit card?
They're in Okaloosa County, I keep telling you.
What you spending money on? Right, watch this space. There's more to this story.
And the saga continues. But gosh darn, if water is splashing on you, it must be time for our favorite underwater friend. It's time for Flip It.
Yes, it's time for Flip It again. Which was the bigger deal, UConn being defeated or Villanova winning? Panel defend. Of course, UConn being defeated is the bigger story. Goddess Kelli, defend.
Well, yeah, it's the bigger story. If you look at it, Villanova won the championship 2 years ago. They're a good school. They always compete when it comes to men's basketball. But on the women's side, there's usually no competition. UConn has been dominant for so long. Coach Ariema is one of the greatest coaches ever, not just in women, not just in basketball, but one of the greatest coaches ever. And me being a girl from Connecticut, lived there for 20 years of my childhood, those UConn women were an inspiration. So it's always heartbreaking to see them lose, and it's a huge story, and it's a crushing blow to this Connecticut girl, because I'm a Huskies fan through and through when it comes to college basketball on both sides of the ball. So, yeah, it hurt. It's a huge story. The UConn women, they don't get beat.
They don't get beat, but it hurts, and it hurts you being from Connecticut. All right. CJ, defend. UConn was the bigger story.
The reason why it was a bigger story is just like God has said, UConn was dominant. I mean, if you was a girl and you were trying to play basketball and someone said, where do you want to go and play? Within your first top 5, you're going to try and get into UConn to go and play so that you can be seen. And for them to lose was just deafening. I mean, their little hearts were crushed, but every now and then it'll make you stronger. Watch out next year. They'll be back. Better send her a story.
All right. Spitface, defend. UConn was the bigger story.
Of course, UConn was the biggest story. When you look at everybody pretty much expected that Villanova was going to win. So that was already kind of out there that they going to win and stuff. And, it would have been the biggest story would have been Loyola winning. Then that would have blew everything up. But for UConn to go right up there and lose again and not bring home, the trophy, that is the biggest story because it's signaling. I hate to say this to you guys, Kelli, but what it's signaling is the dynasty is over. And even though, I hate to tell you that, but it's actually good because it's showing that the rest of the women's NCAA basketball, it has just risen. If you watch some of them games, they was playing. They was doing some serious playing. So, it was a treat because it was going, and that big tall girl, all I gotta say is, when she said, give me the ball. They can't stop me. I'm like, get down, sister, get down. So, much bigger deal because it's signaling the end of a dynasty.
All right, you said it's the end of the dynasty. Well, to me, it was the biggest story because of how they lost. The Lady Huskies lost the same way 2 consecutive years in a row. It was a last-second shot that they lost to. That's, to me, why it's such a bigger story. Yeah, everybody expects UConn ladies to win. Again, they were undefeated. They were 36-0 when they went into that game. And the one thing, though, they always have problems playing their nemesis, Notre Dame. They have beaten them more than any other team. But the surprising thing was the fact that, again, they lost on that last-second shot. And it was almost in the same spot when they lost last year to Mississippi State. It was a similar shot. So that was really deflating for the UConn because, even though they didn't play that well in the Notre Dame game, I mean, to be honest with you, they were lucky to be in it. And, Notre Dame kind of fell apart at the end, but they still had a chance to win. So it was more exciting than the Villanova. It's like you said, spit face. Villanova was one of the favorites to win. And basically, during the entire tournament, they had double-digit leads. So it was no surprise that Villanova was going to win. But the Lady UConn, to lose in the fashion that they did, that was definitely the biggest story. But we are going to flip this script. And we're going to flip it to the point that Villanova won the championship. Bigger story. CJ, defend.
Oh, yes, it was the biggest story because I had them for my pick. Oh, yes, indeed. I had Villanova and Loyola. That was my dream to come true, and it didn't come. But Villanova still pulled it out. As far as that other stuff, those females, and losing by that one little point in Notre Dame, I was happy about her. So therefore, UConn really didn't mean anything to me. I was more interested in seeing who was going to win, and Villanova pulled it out. And he pulled it out big time, too.
All right. See, you're right. They did pull it out big time.
Yeah, they did. They did.
Goddess Kelli, defend. Villanova won the championship. Bigger story.
Well, when I put my heart aside and my honorary degree in partying to UConn, when it comes down to national story, Villanova winning the championship is a bigger story. Villanova is such a small school, and the fact that they've managed to win 2 championships in 3 years, that's huge. And the fact that the men's NCAA tournament has such far-reaching implications when it comes to the NBA draft, that makes it a bigger deal story, too. I mean, as much as we love women's college basketball, the WNBA does not get the same kind of viewership that the NBA gets. So when it comes to college hoops, the men are always going to take over that spotlight simply because of the upcoming NBA finals and then getting ready for the NBA draft when we see these kids that become shining stars. So it's great that Villanova, being a small school, was able to bring that glory back to Philadelphia once again. Huge story.
Great, I know. Regardless of what the women do in basketball, the men are always on top. Spitface, defend. Women, Villanova won the championship. Bigger story.
Yeah, I have to go that, even though it was surprising that UConn went down, the biggest story is who they lost. Villanova won. When you win, that's the big story. You won. And Villanova winning 2 championships in the last 3 years, that's a big story, because that's where you're going, wait just a minute. That sound like they got their mojo going. So and also, the men's Final Four had some intrigue, some drama that kind of hyped up everything, because I'm going to tell you, a whole bunch of folks was rooting for Loyola. Whole bunch of folks were rooting for them. They weren't putting their money on them. But they was rooting for them. I saw them with them little Sister Jean outfit caps on and all of that. They was rooting.
That's right.
All right, yeah, Sister Jean became the star of the tournament. Who would have thought that? Well, to me, Villanova winning champion is definitely the bigger story because of how they won. It was so easy for them to win. I mean, they won all the games by double-digit leads, and they just overwhelmed their opponents. Villanova is like it's the college version of the Golden State Warriors, which really makes them very, very difficult to beat. And the main reason why I think it's a big story for Villanova is because Jay Wright, the coach, he wins by recruiting players that fit his system versus recruiting the top high school prospect. because everybody knows Kentucky and John Calipari, he picks the top high school prospect, but they rarely win a title. So think about Jay Wright and his system. His system is the one that has propelled Villanova to 2 titles in 3 years, which is a beginning of a dynasty. That's a big story. Goddess Kelli, what you got cooking with your jambalaya?
I have got a delicious jambalaya for the panel today. Here it comes. A conclusion is the part where you get tired of thinking. So, panel, how does this quote relate to Johnny Football Manziel saying the Cleveland Browns didn't do their homework on him? Now for me, when it comes to homework and Johnny Football,
got us, Kelly. Can you repeat that?
A conclusion is the part where you got tired of thinking, and Johnny Manziel said the Cleveland Browns didn't do their homework on him.
I just want to make sure I heard it right. I was drinking some coffee. I apologize. I apologize.
And like I was saying, when it comes down to homework, maybe if Johnny Manziel took the time to have done some homework when he was in college instead of partying and drinking and getting girls and getting hooked on his alcohol and drugs and substances and all of this stuff, maybe if he had done some homework, then he'd still be playing in the NFL. So he was a top prospect going into that draft. So to say that the Cleveland Browns didn't do their homework, they did. He had all the talent in the world. The Cleveland Browns couldn't have known that he was going to completely blow it. All right, you know what? I get it, Manziel. I've lived in Cleveland. I know that there is a bar on absolutely every corner, and it is gray and dismal and dreary and poor and full of just awful litter, and it's a dirty city full of smog, and it makes you want to drink. I know. I lived there. I drank a lot when I lived in Cleveland. It makes you want to drink. But don't go blaming the recruits of the Cleveland Browns because you don't know how to control yourself. You threw your future away. You could have been a superstar, but no. You blew it. So stuck on that jambalaya, Johnny Manziel. First Lady, what do you think?
Well, actually, the problem was that the Cleveland Browns did do their homework. They just were so overwhelmed with investigating Johnny Manziel's off-field incidents that they really didn't focus on the actual football work ethics. I mean, it gets to a point where you're processing so many of the negative items that their brains just became really short-circuited with Johnny Manziel, and they thought his football positives outweigh his negatives. Unfortunately, the Browns, they really learned the hard way because as Johnny Manziel said it, he did not work hard on coming in, looking at game film, and he didn't really learn too much about the X and O's of football. I mean, for him to say that he didn't learn too much about the X and O's of football, I mean, that was really an indictment on Manziel. But unfortunately, like I said, Cleveland just spent so much time spinning their wheels on the off-field incidents that they really didn't pay attention to his work ethics on field. And so that's where they didn't do their homework, really. And Johnny Manziel, based on that statement, I seriously doubt you'll be back in the NFL. You should have kept your mouth shut.
CJ, come take a bite of this jambalaya. What do you think?
This man just went and told you guys the old African proverb, you knew I was an alligator when you met me. That's all I have to say about him. They knew in the beginning, when they first got him, he was trouble. But no, he told them, I can do this. Watch how good I am. I'm studying every day, like a high school boy. They'll do it for 3 weeks, make you think they're going to pass the class, and then they fail your midterm. Because the other 2 weeks, they were out partying and doing whatever else high school boys do at that time. Like you said, he didn't know his X and O's, and he passed them anyway.
Space Face, what do you think about this jambalaya?
Well, we definitely get an idea which high school boys CJ was hanging out with.
Oh, no, I'm talking about the ones today.
Oh, you talking about the ones? Okay, wink, wink. Okay. All right. Now, what I looked at was, a conclusion is the part where you got tired of thinking. And how this relates to Johnny Manziel is Colin Kaepernick. And, cause I'm going, NFL, what you thinking? That you can bring, you can entertain the thought of bringing Johnny Manziel back to the NFL, and he making these kind of comments, but you can't entertain bringing back Colin Kaepernick, who played in a Super Bowl, and was, did not win it, but had his team in the game to the last moment. And what it took to derail him was an organization that got into a tit-for-tat fight with the coach. That's what happened. Had that organization not made that dumb move, Kaepernick would still be a 49er. Kaepernick would have done his protest and would have been winning games, and nobody would be messing with him. But y'all got tired of thinking. And now, instead of thinking, well, let's see what Johnny Manziel can't do. Johnny Manziel is older he's actually older with less knowledge than the rookies coming in. I would say take a second, third, fourth round rookie. Take a fourth round rookie quarterback, and you got a better shot. Colin Kaepernick. Y'all tired of thinking. That's all I'm saying.
All right. On that note, I am going to run out the alley and get my drink on with some of these high school boys that CJ knows. Well, CJ, take a few break.
No, I think you guys took it the wrong way. What I meant was, he's just acting like a little brat, and he just took their money. But
I want to drink, CJ. Don't correct me. I want to drink.
Hey, CJ, we know how you meant it.
And on the other side,
we knew exactly how you meant it. We just wanted to respond that way.
The Chris Watson brand, and a shout out, please stay tuned.
Me and you and a dog named Blue.
On the other side of the break, we have another performance by the Chris Watson brand, so stay tuned. You are listening to Bras, Panties, and Sports. It's time for the shout-out, part 2, the picks, and the finale. The music flows from around the globe to get a shout-out from the crew. That is Kelli. Over to you.
Now that I got my buzz on, I am ready because we have another performance from the Chris Watson band. Let's see if we can get him to shout out. That is this time. Production people, let us hear Don't Think About It.
Sitting here thinking about the way it could have gone. Words swimming in my head, memories of holding on. But I can't be who you want me to be. No guarantee narrow lines between my heart and my mind. Draw a narrow line between what's wrong and what's right. We both know it's just a matter of time. Before we both lose our minds. So just don't think about it. Baby, just let it be. Don't think about it. Let it happen naturally. About it now and then, I wouldn't change a thing at all. We would have never come so far if I wouldn't have let myself fall. But I can't be who you want me to be. Have no guarantee. So just don't think about it. Maybe just let it be. Don't think about it. Let it happen naturally.
That was Don't Think About It. Is the track getting a shout out or the mute button? Now, do you remember going back to the first track? It was fun and it was bouncy and we all wanted to drink and we wanted to dance and it was a little generic. There wasn't a lot of swagger to it, but it was fun. This song took everything that was good about the Chris Watson band and got rid of it. On the first song, Spitface said he stayed in his lane, and he did. Well, on this song, he swerved, and it sucked, and I'm muting it. And Chris Watson, no, stay fun, because you got no swag. You got no swag. You gotta be fun, and you gotta make girls want to drink if you're gonna get some. You ain't getting none except the mute button. I'm sorry. First Lady, what'd you think?
Goddess Kelly, you have something against R&B.
Maybe. I mean,
R&B song comes on, it seems like you don't like it. I mean, they had swag with this song. I like this song much better than the first song. I am definitely shouting this out. I mean, because this was just a good old-fashioned R&B song, and it was great. I'm sorry. I would definitely have a lot of drink. He can get something with me on that song. That song really gonna put you in a nice swinging move, and people who like to step, because I know CJ know about stepping. That was stepping music. So hey, I disagree with you, Goddess Kelly. That song was the bomb.
Oh no, I mean maybe there's just so many R&B legends out there that these kind of guys, they just don't have that same soul to me that the classics of R&B have. It's not that I hate R&B. I love classic R&B, but this guy just doesn't have that same swaggy soul to me. CJ, what'd you think?
Well, like I said, he was at the wedding, right? And at the beginning of the wedding, everybody is all happy-go-lucky and we dance so good. But see, Goddess, you don't understand. See, what First Lady's talking about, see, this is the end of the way. Now, you've had that moonshine. You're all tuckered out now, and everybody's starting to look kind of fuzzy through those rose-colored glasses at the end of the night. And this record comes on. Now, for that 40, 50, 60-year-old crowd, this is the time they about to get it on. Get it on this song, because they ain't got to move a lot. They ain't got to sit and rock back and forth and feel like they done something for the night. For them, like I said, it's a yo. He's in his lane doing his thing. That's where he is. He's not going to make the top 50. No. We're not going to hear that on iHeartRadio anytime soon.
Ooh, all right. Maybe I'm just
I'll book him. He'll get booked for $500 for 4 hours.
All right. Okay. Spit-faced. What do you got to say?
Well, one thing I'm going to say is ain't no shame in being a B artist. Because, one thing that, everybody ain't going to be no A artist. And there's a lot of B artists that done had some long careers and made some long grain. And I kind of think the lyrics for this song were just an excuse. Because they can jam them horns. And the singer is the singer. He got the voice he got. But what I like is that they bringing me in a little bit, but mainly they jamming them horns. And I'm going to give him a yo on this one. I'm going to give it a yo on this one. And I know what CJ talking about. You don't want to move that crowd out too fast. At the end, folks be having heart attacks.
Mm-hmm.
Getting started. They already had a few drinks. They slurring their words. So you got to kind of ease them on out. And plus, you're saying last call for alcohol.
Right.
So you don't want them all geeked up and stuff, and it's the last call for alcohol. That's what I'm saying. Yo.
All right. Well, that's the end of Shout Out. If you liked what you heard from the Chris Watson Band, if the Chris Watson Band made you want to get it on, then check them out at chriswatsonband.com. And if you would like to be heard, or if you have any comments, you can send your emails and tracks to Panties at oldcomfyradio.com. Now it's time for the picks. So First Lady, let's get the pick on.
The hardwood picks have started. Will CJ retain her crown? Well, the production systems didn't do a great job this past several weeks. They didn't get my numbers for me, so we don't have the results. We will definitely have them next week. So let's get to the picks. At the end of the regular season, Team A will have more wins than Team B. Bucks, more wins than Wizards. $150,000 for the correct answer, and then minus $150,000 for the incorrect answers. I'll start it off, and I will say, even though they've been playing real bad, I'm going to say the Wizards will have more wins. So, and I think we're doing that right. Okay, let's go to CJ. Who do you have?
I want my Milwaukee Buckers to have more wins.
So you're saying the Bucks? Okay.
Yeah.
Goddess Kelly?
I'm not giving up on John Wall. I'm going with the Wizards.
Spitface?
This is a tough one. This is a tough one. I'm leaning toward the Bucks, but I kind of think that's just because, you know, their proximity to Chicago. You always kind of root for your neighbor, Milwaukee. And, but you know, I'm going to go with the Wizards.
Okay, you can say the Wizards. Hawks will have more wins than the Mavericks. CJ, who do you have?
The Hawks.
You got them dirty Hawks. All right. Spitface?
Hawks.
You got the Hawks. Goddess Kelly?
Yeah, I got to jump on the Hawk train.
Okay, I have the Mavericks. The Hawks. Oh, my goodness. No, I'll pick Dallas over the Hawks. All right. I mean, the Knicks, and the way we got the Knicks spell, but anyway, the Knicks more wins than the Bulls. 50,000 for the right answer and minus 75,000 for the incorrect answer. So Knicks more wins than the Bulls. So my answer to this is no. Goddess Kelly.
Yeah, I got to go with the Bulls on this one.
So your answer is no. Spitface?
I'm going with the Knicks.
Okay, well, you know, they play Cleveland twice. You know, I know I'm a Knicks fan, so that's why I'm saying no. All right, CJ?
I'm going with the Knicks, too.
Okay, you think they're going to beat Cleveland twice. All right. And let's move on to the next one. I did say, I said no.
More wins than the Bulls.
It says Knicks more wins than Bulls.
The Bulls, right.
What are you picking, CJ?
I'm picking the Knicks.
Huh?
Knicks.
Oh, you said the Knicks.
Yeah.
So you said the Knicks will have more wins than the Bulls. Okay. The Spurs more wins than the Jazz. 150,000 for the correct answer, minus 150,000 for the incorrect answer. Goddess Kelly.
Yeah, the Spurs.
Yes, the Spurs. Okay. I say yes, the Spurs too. I have the Spurs. Yes. CJ.
Yes, the Spurs.
Okay. Spitface.
I gotta roll with them Spurs.
I gotta roll with the Spurs. Okay. Pelicans more wins than the Thunder. 75,000 for the correct answer. Minus 50 for the incorrect answer. Spitface.
Pelicans.
I have the Thunder, so I say no. I don't have the Pelicans. Goddess Kelly?
This was a tough one for me, but I'm going to roll with the reigning MVP in the Thunder, so no.
You're going to roll with the Thunder. CJ?
I'm going with the underdog, of course, with the Pelicans.
The Pelicans. All right, moving along. Phoenix, more wins than the Grizzlies. Who really cares? But anyway, 150,000 for the correct answer, minus 50 for the incorrect answer. Spitface, who do you have?
You say who really cares? That $150,000 dangling out there. That's who really cares. And I'm gonna go with the Grizzlies.
All right, I'm gonna go with the Suns. CJ, who do you have?
I'm going with Phoenix, too.
Okay. And Goddess Kelly?
When I was a kid, I really liked the Suns because I look good in purple and orange. So let's go with Phoenix.
You look good in purple and orange. Okay. That's funny. All right. Well, we'll see how we did for our results next week, and I'll make sure to get after those production Communications assistants. It's time for our panel to give their outrageous predictions for the week. Goddess Kelli, what is your outrageous prediction?
That it is going to stop snowing in the Northeast.
What year? What year?
Hopefully this month.
What day?
Hopefully by Mother's Day. All right. CJ, what is your outrageous prediction?
My outrageous prediction is that it will not be cold on May 1st in the Northeast region.
Okay, all right. All these things about the weather. Spitface, what is your outrageous prediction?
The Cleveland Browns will finally get their number one pick at quarterback correct. They will finally get a franchise quarterback, and they'll have a winning season.
Okay. Well, my outrageous prediction is Tiger Woods is going to come back from 48th position and win the Masters.
We deliberately made sure that you were going to sneak your boo in there some kind of way. I should have known.
Anyway, all right. Well, I know Mother's Day is in May, but my son's 22nd birthday is today, so I was thinking about motherhood, and I want to wish my son, Michael, happy birthday. I love you. Motherhood is one of the toughest jobs. You learn on the job, and you learn from mistakes you make raising a child. Unfortunately, children do not come with a ready-to-made instructions and a guide. A mother is both a teacher and a student. As a teacher, you hope you provide significant guidance that will provide a foundation for your child through life. As a student, your children will always teach you too. They have a way of putting things in the simplest terms. Motherhood is a beautiful job, but it's not for everyone. Therefore, women need to choose wisely before becoming a mother. Goddess Kelli, how can listeners check you out on your other broadcasts? Check out your other broadcasts.
First of all, happy birthday to your son. So happy birthday to you. And people can check me out as the host of the Red Zone, bringing sexy back to sports. You can subscribe to my show live on blogtalkradio.com/momentumshift. You can check me out on demand anytime on my sponsor website, goingfor2.com. You can follow the show on social media at The Red Zone Live, and you can follow me on social media at KELLIERUTTAR.
All right. Well, you can.
I'm going to tell you, when I check out her other show, because she be bringing sexy back to sports, I turn the lights out.
Okay, you got to be careful, Spitface. That can get you fired. No, I'm only kidding.
Why you
it's only sexual harassment if I'm uncomfortable.
Why you think the lights is out?
Okay. All right. You can visit CJ on Facebook /Sabore. That's SABOIRE on Instagram and Twitter. You can check me out at Cheryl Smith at First Lady Sports. Please visit our new website, which is not really new anymore, but it's BrasPantySports.com, where you'll find links for each of us, original episodes, and the Bearskin Lounge with Dizzy Mac. This is Cheryl Smith and CJ and Goddess Kelli and Spitface, and you have been listening to Bras, Panties, and Sports.